Last night in Kansas City, Yonder Alonso did his best to provide the Indians' offense some punch. His home run got him on the board, and then Mr. 305 gave him the lead late with a 2-run homer. But alas, it was not enough, as Kansas City would roar back with 2 homers in the bottom of the ninth to win it 5-4. And so now it's game 2 of this 3-game weekend series. Hi, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Cody Allen, he was on the hill last night in the bottom of the ninth. He took the loss, blown save. But, you know, when you look back at Cody, he had an 11-game stretch from late July to August 17th in which he had 2 wins, no losses, 4 saves, and an earned run average of 0.73. But now in his last 3 outings, he's given up runs every time. Rick, is there reason to be concerned right now about Cody Allen, or is this just a bad stretch?
I think it's a bad stretch, and he's got to get his confidence back because in a matter of 4 pitches, this game is over. A couple of rookies, they hit home runs, they went the other way. But if you're a closer, that's what you want to make them do. If you're going to beat me the other way. They did. So now he feels bad about his outing. You know, because when you look at his last 18 appearances, an ERA of 7. He's walked 10 guys, 19 strikeouts. But when you're throwing your fastball up in a zone, he thinks he can get it by the hitters, and they take you the other way. There's some soul searching that has to go on. So they may move him out of that closer's role and just let him relax a little bit until he can get something going.
All right, we'll see how that plays out here tonight. Maybe it won't matter. If Corey Kluber is on his game, Kansas City may have a tough time scoring because over the last several years, in the month of August, he has been one of the most dominant pitchers in baseball.
Once Corey gets on a roll, he is unstoppable, and he's 4-0 since the end of July, and he's on one of those rolls again because it's Cy Young time. But for Corey Kluber, he's faced the Kansas City Royals twice this year. He's 2-0. He's 11-6 in his career, and when you look at the credentials, he's 16 wins. That's tied for first, so he's trying to get 17 tonight. You can see he's leading it in innings pitched. He's back on one of those rolls that we know Kluber can get onto.
All right, so we'll be back with the play-by-play here in Kansas City coming up. Alan Jensen will join us next with the showstopper. Plus, we'll check in with Andre Knott all ahead of tonight's first pitch here in Kansas City. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by Who But W.B. Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. And by your Northern Ohio Honda dealers. Made in Ohio, Ohio proud. man in the order, Francisco Lindor. With more on that, we go downstairs to Andre Nye.
Thank you very much, Matt. Yes, we know him as Mr. Smiles this weekend as he wears that on his Players Weekend jersey. But as we get to know Francisco Lindor, it's going to be nice to hear from his teammates to talk about not only how great a teammate he is, but how much fun they have being around him. Hi, Frankie. We want to see you live.
What up, my people? What up, boys?
I don't think I've seen anybody have more fun playing the game than Francisco Lindor. He's aggressive, he's smiling.
Really blessed to be here, and I'm a little kid at heart. This is me. This is who I am. No matter where I step in, I like to laugh, I like to smile, I like to have fun.
I think I got this one. I got it.
I think he comes to the ballpark with a smile every day.
You know, and I think that's what makes Lindor who Lindor is his character, his attitude, and that's the reason he's a winner.
He's obviously a very exciting talent, great baseball player, but I think the energy he brings, his personality and stuff is also infectious, and, you know, it definitely helps out the entire team.
I'm going to give my teammates everything I got. They deserve everything I got, and that's what I'm going to give them.
Lindor, what a play!
You know, ever since he first came up, you know, when he was 20, 21 years old, he just had that leadership quality about him. Wants to win, loves his teammates, loves being with his team.
It just helps me that my teammates are so good, and I put everything on them. My thought process is if I don't get it done, someone else is going to get it done. I understand that I'm not going to be the guy every single time. I'm going to be the guy 3 out of 10 times. That's perfectly fine.
It's amazing the kind of ball player he's turning himself into. Obviously, his talent's through the roof, but I think he can get better and better, which is the scary part because he's already one of the best players in the game.
I think he has the potential to be one of the best shortstops ever. I mean, he's gotten off to a really great start. Hopefully, we get to see him play for 20 years and see how it pans out for him.
The Indians' heart and soul.
When the lights are brightest, he is at his best.
I'm from Puerto Rico. I moved to the States when I was 12 years old, and here I am in Baylix, hoping for the best. It's a game, and I get paid for it. I ain't losing.
You cannot have one without the other. If Lindor had a great personality and all that enthusiasm and energy, but he wasn't a great talent, you'd say, yeah, but. When you combine the two together, you're talking about a superstar.
Yeah, he's a special individual. He enjoys the game, and it shows. We have the good fortune of watching him play every single day, and I'll tell you what, it certainly is a treat just to watch him take the field.
We'll see if he can get the Indians off on the right foot tonight here in Kansas City when we come back. Division standings with a record of 73 and 55. That's 12 games better than Minnesota, and in fact their magic number to clinch the division is down to 21 heading into play tonight. Kansas City takes the field behind right-handed starting pitcher Heath Fillmyer.
Well, let's take a look at Fillmyer. He's the Northern Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher. Fillmyer, this will be his second appearance against the Indians and his very first start. You can see he came out of the bullpen. He's made 7 starts. He's 1-1 with a .457. And Fillmyer They acquired him from the Oakland Athletics in a trade that sent Brandon Moss back there and Ryan Buchter to the A's. So he is going to get an opportunity to pitch against the Tribe. Only 45 and a third innings, giving up 43 hits. He's struck out 27, but he's walked 23.
And he has just now thrown his first warm-up pitch. Take a look at the Indians starting lineup for Terry Francona. It's brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Francisco Lindor leading it off, a .336 career average against Kansas City pitching. Michael Brantley will hit second, then it's Jose Ramirez. Edwin Encarnacion bats cleanup. Yonder Alonso coming off a 2-homer performance will bat fifth. Melky Cabrera, switch hitter in the 6-hole, followed by Jason Kipnis. Yan Gomes really surging here in the month of August, and Greg Allen, a switch hitter, will bat ninth.
And the defense for Kansas City tonight will be Gordon in left field. It'll be Merrifield getting the start out in center, Bonifacio over in right. On the infield, Dozier is at third base, Mondesi at short, Herrera gets the start at second base tonight, O'Hearn is at first, and Perez is behind the plate.
Stu Sherwater has the plate tonight. Crew chief Gary Cederstrom is at second. Eric Cooper at second base, Cederstrom first. Cooper second, Ramon DeJesus down at third. And I'm sure Gary Cederstrom is just hoping for no water valve explosions tonight.
I think we're going to be in good shape. For Heath Philmeyer, his last start, he was spotted a 6-0 lead last Sunday against the Chicago White Sox. And he gave it right back in the 4th inning on a 3-run home run. So I'm sure he wants to get back out there and prove that, hey, boys, I'm sorry, I couldn't hold that lead.
Lindor digs in. Philmeyer delivers, and we're underway with a fastball strike one. Misses up high, and that evens the count of 1-1. Game time temperature 91 degrees, but again with the heat index, feels like 98. Swung on and missed. Good breaking ball down and in. Fastball takes off, really sailed on him. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lindor 1 for 5 last night in the series opener. Missed in off the plate and a full count.
It looks like he throws a little bit like last night's starter for Kansas City, because the ball is running and moving all over the place right now.
And a ground ball hit right back up the middle, but there to field it is Mondesi, and he throws out Lindor 1 away.
Ball almost hit the bag. I thought it was going to hit the bag and deflect up.
Tonight's storylines are brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Early bounce back. Indians have been a very prolific early inning run scoring team. Corey Kluber in the month of August. This year, 3-0, 245 in his career, 273 earned run average.
It's almost like he's a different animal in the second half of a season.
Michael Brantley. While some players struggle through the dog days of August, Brantley has turned into a greyhound. Batting .342 this month with a dozen runs batted in 20 games played. And he looks at a pitch up high to even the count of 1-1. Last night he was 2 for 4 with a run driven in.
40th multi-hit game for Michael, tied for 10th in the league.
Pitches down low out of the zone. 2-1 the count. And a hard hit bouncer to first base. Snagged by Ryan O'Hearn. Takes it himself 2 away. And that will bring up Jose Ramirez. Ramirez still third in the American League with 37 home runs. And he is still third in runs batted in with 91. And a liner to short ends the inning. The Indians go 1-2-3. The Royals are coming to bat.
Honda starting pitcher, and Kluber looking for win number 17 tonight, and he has posted a 4-0 record with a 221 over his last 5 starts, and he has won each of his last 4 road starts dating back to July 2nd.
Ned Yost's starting lineup looks like this with Merrifield at the top. He had his 12-game hitting streak snapped last night. Alex Gordon, then Salvador Perez. Lucas Duda, Jorge Bonifacio, and Ryan O'Hearn. Hunter Dozier. Rosel Herrera gets to start at second base tonight with Merrifield moving to center field, and Adalberto Mondesi once again bats ninth. And Corey Kluber's first pitch is in there for a strike. Last night, Merrifield drew a leadoff walk to start the game. 2 batters later, he was jogging home on a 3-run homer by Salvador Perez. Merrifield has 5 hits in 24 at-bats against Corey Kluber. But only 3 strikeouts. He's a tough guy to strike out. He puts the ball in play, stays on the ball very well.
Exactly. That he can stay on that cutter that Kluber likes to throw. He uses the whole field as a hitter. You can see he's tied with Lindor as far as the number of hits this year.
Back out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. First inning, no score here in Kansas City. Now the 1-2. Slow breaking ball. It's popped to right. Melky Cabrera barely has to move. 1 down.
Let's check that Indians defense. Brought to you by Chrysler. In the outfield, it'll be Brantley in left. Allen is in center. Cabrera over in right. Ramirez is at third. Lindor at short. Kipnis at second. Alonso at first. And Gomes doing the catching.
For Kansas City, their players cannot and do not take the field every night thinking about their record, where they're at in the standings, because if you've thought about that, you'd never want to leave the clubhouse. You just think about that night's game, what you can do. And so for them last night, while it was only their 19th win of the year at home, think about that. That's hard to imagine. That's only their 19th win at home this year. And we're almost at the end of August. But for them, it was a night to celebrate with back-to-back home runs to walk it off. Salvador Perez, meanwhile, started the scoring for Kansas City last night. Before the game, he met a young fan who was in a wheelchair, and he told him, "I'm going to hit a home run for you tonight." And he went up first at bat. Kabam.
Yeah, he didn't waste any time, did he? He got a low heater out over the plate, and I mean, he smoked it into right center field. And that's how Kansas City scored all their runs last night, was on the long ball.
He said after he came around home plate and celebrated there with his teammates, he looked to his family, and the young fan that he had met before the game was sitting near them in the family section. And he said the kid was really excited. And Rick, those are stories that those go all the way back to, you know, the legendary, whether they're true or mythology, it doesn't matter. You know, Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig promising a kid in the hospital, "I'm going to hit a home run for you today." It's amazing how many times guys do that, make a promise, and then they follow through on it.
Yeah. And just think about how special it is for that individual that was told. That's something they'll never forget the rest of their life.
Now the 3-1. And that's ball 4. Two down, a runner at first, and Lucas Duda will come to the plate. Kluber with a fastball strike gets ahead of him.
Well, he knows better. If he was going to pitch around Perez, not to say that he was, you know, trying to walk him over there. He knows he's got to come right back and get ahead of this next hitter. And doesn't waste any time.
Swung on and missed. Boy, he made quick work of Duda, almost like he didn't want Perez to hurt him, worked around him, went to work on Duda, and the Royals are held without a run here in the first.
Access and manage your tickets. Enjoy check-in offers, exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today.
Second inning in Kansas City, no score. Edwin Encarnacion will lead it off. He was 0 for 4 last night in the series opener. Perfectly placed fastball gets him ahead, strike one. Comes right back, throws another one.
He was all over the place in the first inning, but comes out here in this second inning, throws 2 low darts for strikes.
That one, the breaking ball went awry. Phil Meyer is another interesting story in that growing up, he dreamed of being a shortstop. That was his position, played it all the way through high school, and even into his first year in college, he was a shortstop. A 1-2 pitch, slow hook upstairs. But his freshman year, they needed a closer, so he filled in. He only pitched 7 2/3 innings out of the bullpen. Now think about this. He was a shortstop, so scouts could see his arm from shortstop, and he only pitched 7 2/3 innings. And based on that alone, the Colorado Rockies drafted him after that first year.
Now that you mention it, I remember when he came in to pitch against us. He pitched 3 innings against us. You mentioned that,
yeah,
and how he transitioned into a pitcher.
So he, you know, the light kind of went on. Said, "Oh, I guess this is my ticket." So he went back the next year. As Edwin goes down swinging, he was a full-time pitcher. He went 9-0 with an ERA of 0.68. And that's when the Oakland A's made him a 5th-round pick, because the Rockies had drafted him in the 28th round. So
right,
he figured, well,
I'm not going to sign.
Yeah, I'm not going to sign. I'm going to go back, try this pitching thing full time. And he goes from 28th round to 5th round, and boom, the rest is history.
Interesting.
But I would imagine, Arch, if you're a scout, we'll have to ask some of our friends who we see around the game. If you see a guy at shortstop, you can see the arm strength and tell if that's a guy that could project as a pitcher.
Case in point, Tony Pena Jr., the shortstop, who's now with the still with the Royals, but before he left shortstop, he wasn't much of a hitter. They transitioned him into a pitcher, right, and went down to the minor leagues because he had such a good arm.
And then there are other guys like Shin-Soo Choo who wanted to be a pitcher.
Yeah.
And they said, we think you look better as an outfielder. Yeah. So they moved him to the outfield. The 1-1 upstairs. Did you ever think about it when you first were drafted that you wouldn't be a shortstop in the big leagues?
Not really. No, you think, you know, when you're drafted, you're going to be playing a position. And that's pretty much the only position I played. But, you know, any ball player that grows up and they're in high school or little leagues and they're the shortstop, second base, middle of the diamond players are usually your best players on the team.
Right.
So, you know, you can move them. They're athletic. You should be able to do whatever you want. If you're going to get too big, or your size-wise, for a position, they can change you.
The 3-1. Swinging a foul ball. Held on by Perez.
I find it interesting when somebody sees a guy out there and says, I think this guy would be a good catcher. You know, and he's never caught before, and they end up making him a catcher behind the plate because there's so much to sit back and learn.
It seems like most catchers we see were converted. They weren't necessarily catchers.
They're not high draft picks usually.
He just missed inside. First base runner for the Indians as Alonso draws the 1-out walk.
Take a look at this pitch on the Nissan pitch tracker, just a little bit in off the plate. You see it had about where that chalk line was. Perez trying to push it back over to the inside corner, as all catchers do.
1 on, 1 out. Melky Cabrera is the batter. That's like, I think back to Victor Martinez. If you ever saw Victor Martinez, at least when he was in the major leagues, you would say, oh yeah, that's a catcher. Definitely that's a catcher's body. And yet he wasn't. He was an infielder.
Yeah, third
they
base.
Turned into a catcher.
Carlos Santana, third baseman. Slash, I think maybe a little outfield before he went behind the plate, but wasn't really a catcher. They moved him.
That doesn't always work.
No. Well, it's hard to tell, and sometimes you're trying to fill your needs with a guy, and it doesn't work out.
Now, Sandy was always a catcher, wasn't he?
He's a big boy, yeah. He was always a catcher, yes, sir. And a big one at that, 6'4", 6'5".
Melky Cabrera grounds one fair inside the bag at third. Alonso's on his way to third, and he'll hold there. Cabrera is in with a 1-out double, and the Indians have runners at second and third.
Well, Melky's been swinging a very good stick, and he keeps this one. I think it was a changeup. Speeds up his bat, and he drills it down the line, and it stays inside the bag. So Melky will get his 9th double and set this inning up for the Indians to take an early lead. Now it's up to Jason Kipnis to try and get him home.
Coming into tonight's game, and to your point, Rick, in his last 11 games, Melky hitting .359 with 5 homers, 14 runs batted in. So here we go. Jason Kipnis with a chance to get the Indians on the board. And what do we got?
Balk. What happened? Kip said something to the umpire. He must have flinched. He left him hanging too. Mr. 305, Kip was going to give him some knocks. He said no. Let's see if he flinches. And then to see Kipnis, watch, he'll step up. I thought he was calling timeout.
Yeah, he stopped. He started and stopped, and then, yeah.
He told the umpire, and the umpire called the balk, so it was good.
It's funny, when you watch that on replay from the center field camera, it looks so subtle,
harmless,
that you would think it would be hard to pick up. But tell us, when you're down there 60 feet 6 inches away, I'll bet that sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, it does. You could see a little jersey, just a little ripple or something like that. And everybody's eyes are on you. It's not like they're not watching. You can't hide. You're in the middle of the diamond. You've got the hitter, you got the catcher, you got the home plate umpire, along with 3 other umpires watching you.
It's enough to make a guy paranoid.
Now that you put it that way, right. What are you looking at me for?
I feel like somebody's watching me here. Well, the infield in. Kipnis just trying to get that 2nd run home now. He's down on the count 1-2. He's sitting on 49 runs batted in for the year. Phil Meyer gets the strikeout, his 2nd of the inning, and there are 2 down. He really took something off.
Yeah, this is the curveball, has to be. I think his slider's a little harder than that. It was an 84-mile-an-hour pitch, but he got him to swing over the top of it and has a chance to get out of this inning now after the balk, except he's going to face 2 guys, possibly 2, that have been hot in the month of August. Yan Gomes is the first one, hitting .367.
And I explored that a little bit more because I was wondering, is it just August that he's taken off? And I went back, Rick, since June 1st, he's hit .280.
He has really put up some quality at bats. You can tell he's seeing the ball well. He's using the whole field. He's in a groove. 3 consecutive multi-hit games. And he's taking pitches better. He takes his walks. Sometimes he can get a little antsy or a little jumpy and trying to go out and get the ball instead of letting things come to him. But he has really done a good job of slowing the game down in the batter's box.
Boy, he had a 2-0 count, thinking maybe here comes the fastball, and Phil Meyer crossed him up with a breaking ball.
Did you see him hit his head helmet bat on his helmet. He's telling himself, stay patient. It's a 2-0 pitch. You don't have to swing at that. That was a pitcher's pitch. And he realized that.
Out of play to the right. Got his fastball. And now the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at third with 2 down, and the Indians leading at 1-0. And a ground ball to third. Cut off by Dozier. And the inning is over. A walk, a knock, and a balk. And the Indians lead it 1-0.
My goodness. As they cross the line, I think it was Mustard as he face plants onto the on-deck circle. And speaking of hot dogs, it'll be Dollar Dog Night when we return to Progressive Field against Tampa Bay. That'll be Friday night. Fans 21 and over. Get to the game early. Enjoy $2 domestic beers out in the district. Stay afterwards. They'll have a great fireworks display. Get your tickets at Indians.com or use the ballpark app.
That's a dirty dog.
Yes, it is.
Jorge Bonifacio will lead off. 0 for 4 last night. And Corey Kluber's pitch is in the dirt, ball 1.
On the 6 o'clock start, that hour earlier, now the sun's basically out of everybody's eyes, but in the outfield, those first couple innings, inning and a half, it could bother some people. It's just a little bit out there near the warning track in right field, and other than that, there's no other problem.
That was a nasty pitch right on the outside corner. But when it's 3-0, Bonifacio, rather 2-1, Bonifacio didn't have to swing at it.
Right.
Bloop to right, and that is going to drop. First hit of the game for Kansas City, leading off the second inning.
Again, one of these hits that maybe because of the outfield so spacious, you're playing a little bit deeper, it falls in. So he fights this one off, Gets it in front. That looked like a cutter that he got underneath, and it stayed high in the strike zone, so it enabled him to fight it off. And you can see Cabrera coming in, but keeping it in front of him. So Kansas City, they get their first hit.
Now, the two guys who knocked the Indians out last night. Ryan O'Hearn with Hunter Dozier on deck, back-to-back homers in the 9th inning.
You know, the amazing thing, the people in Kansas City, you know, they felt once that the Indians came back to take the lead, they've watched that act before. They've seen it before, but they didn't see the one that these two guys provided with back-to-back walk-off. And that's a rarity when you get late into a ball game.
Tell you what else is just, I guess we've become sort of numb to, you know, walk-offs. They are commonplace now. They're always sort of stunning when you're on the wrong end of it and thrilling when you're on the right side of it. But Bart Swain told us last night at the end of the game that that was the first time the Indians had suffered a walk-off loss on back-to-back home runs since 1964.
Yeah, wow. That's when the Beatles were coming into the country.
Out of play.
Well, you talk about walk-offs. Look at the Kia Drive to Success. 2004, 80 of them. 79 already this year. And 75 and 17. We're 4-9. We've got 4 at home. We've been walked off 9 times on the road. And Cody has been a part of 4 of those.
Well, chances are, if you're going to get walked off, he's the closer.
Right. But I'm saying, you know, you see it a lot. And I mean, that's what you see when you see highlights. You go to TV, it's always the walk-offs. Boom, 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 boom. That's what you see in the heroes. You don't see the first 8 innings of that game.
Well, that also tells me one other thing. As the 3-2 pitch heads to O'Hearn, it was low. Did he go? He did. Ramon De Jesus rings him up down at third base. Second strikeout for Kluber. 1 down here in the inning, and we'll get another look.
Let's take a look at it from the side.
Tell you what, Ramon was absolutely convinced because it wasn't just a little flick of the wrist. It was a full-on, yeah.
I'm going to watch for Dale Swain that's in that dugout because he got thrown out yesterday arguing a pitch for his pitcher. Now, he's like the bench coach, but I would assume he'd argue for his hitters more. There he is.
Hunter Dozier. So what that tells me, 2 of the last, or 2 of the 3 biggest years for walk-offs have been the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, right.
So that tells me that more teams have less than lockdown closers than we've seen in a long time. In other words, they've got closers that can get the job done, but we have fewer of the guys who go out and just dominate.
We gave a stat in Boston where he said there was only 3 relievers. I think it was Jansen, the guy in Boston, Cody Allen, Kimbrell, and Allen. 3 guys for 3 straight 30 years saves.
That's right, yeah.
Per year.
Yeah.
3, that's it.
So I guess that kind of proves the point. Well, I mean, I think we got spoiled for a long time. We saw some of the best closers we've ever seen, and everybody thought, well, we just get one of those guys and we'll be fine. And now you're starting to realize, A, those guys are harder and harder to find, and B, the hitters have maybe caught up.
They quit making those guys. The factory closed down. There's no guarantee 1, 2, 3 inning, especially late in the game anymore.
And I think it does. I think there is something too that home runs are going, strikeouts are up, but home runs are up. And in the 9th, if it's a close game, all it takes is 1 swing.
Yes.
And that wrecks the whole game. And with more guys swinging for the home run, that might also play right into it. The 1-2.
Perfect.
Double play ball to Lindor. Kipnis turns it inning over. Through 2 in KC, it's Cleveland 1, the Royals nothing. Stay tuned later in the game for our Miller Lite Hold True moment. On a night like this, you can suck down more than just a couple of Miller Lights.
Well, where we're sitting, it feels pretty comfortable. Maybe a little warmer down in the bowl there.
We checked with Andre, but I think he's passed out. Oh, I just saw his head pop up. He's alive and well. He was
sleeping.
It's hot down there, isn't it?
It is. I'm trying to get that Mustard to come back to Cleveland with us. I like how he finishes races.
I'll tell you what, he did. He stretched it out, didn't he?
He stretched it out. Better than the guy we got at home.
No love lost between Dre and the Mustard. Greg Allen with a 2-0 count. And he works the count 3-0. 1 for 3 last night. And Allen, look at that, over his last 17 games, a .383 mark with 12 runs scored. Taken all the way, finds the zone, but it's in the upper part of that strike zone. Probably not a pitch he wanted to get after anyway. See if he makes him throw 3 straight.
I think he might. I think he might.
No, he swings and drives one pretty well. Deep left center. Merrifield racing back, and he makes a terrific catch.
How about that? This kid started at second base last night and goes out there tonight in straightaway center field and makes a fine running catch. And Allen, boy, gave this one a jolt. 3-1 count. That he did. He put a good swing on it. Now watch where Merrifield's running, and he got a good beat on it. And hey, you talk about running a good route. This is your infielder in the outfield, in a big spacious outfield, making a nice play. Retiring Greg Allen.
I think he has effectively proven, for anyone who may have wondered.
Look, he's excited about it. He's taking abuse from everybody out there.
He is the future here in Kansas City. As far as Dayton Moore is concerned, that's his building block.
Well, the heart and soul is behind the plate, but this guy is really one of their best players without a doubt.
Top of the order, Francisco Lindor grounded to short his first time up. Oh man, he changed up nicely on him with that breaking ball, and it's 0-2. He's done that to a number of Indians hitters this year, or in this game, where they're looking fastball, thinking maybe they're getting a fastball, and the bottom falls out. up high.
Well, that guy behind the plate that's calling the pitches, he knows how to set the hitters up. He's gone against them for quite some time, knowing now it's a matter of execution. I'm sure they won't shake him off.
Line drive snared out number 2. Rosel Herrera didn't have to go far. StatCast AI powered by AWS.
He had 95 feet to go, so that's like running from home to first. And that sprint speed. But what I liked about it, his angle was very good, direct, straight to the point, and he was able to run it down. And that's what you have to do in an outfield like this.
With 2 down, Michael Brantley, the batter. To this point, Phil Meyer has done a good job of really mixing it up. But we'll see. Second time through the order. If he can keep it up, or if the Indians will make a necessary adjustment or two.
I'm thinking they're going to make an adjustment on this guy once they get a chance to really see it. They've hit a couple balls on the nose right now. I mean, Allen did, Lindor did in this inning.
Ramirez had a line drive in the first that was caught. Melky Cabrera's double led to the only run of the game to this point. Out of play. It remains 1-2. Missed down low, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Still not commanding it all that well. 23 balls and 27 strikes out of his first 50 pitches.
Had him reaching for it. And Mondesi throws him out. The Indians go 1-2-3. They lead it 1-0, middle of the third. Since Terry Francona took over as manager of the Indians, after the All-Star break, the Indians played better than .600 baseball. Well, that's the best in the bigs. Ball one down low to Rosell Herrera.
Matt, you guys bring up that record after the All-Star break, and I'm talking to Corey Kluber and a couple Josh Tomlin about that. And he said because Tito kind of sets the tone, and it never changes going forward. He says he never gets too high, too low, as we all know. But he says it comes out of the All-Star break, and he kind of tells guys, now it's the time to get things going. It doesn't change. That's why they think they play so much better in the second half.
Well, there's people on. There's not a switch you can just turn on and off. That's for sure. You go out there and grind all year long, but for whatever reason, why are they so good in the second half? Hard to tell you. They're pitching, they're hitting. What?
Swing and a miss. Down goes Herrera, and that's the third strikeout for Corey Kluber. One down here in the inning. When you've got Corey Kluber pitching for you, that definitely helps.
Yeah.
But I think more than anything, look, we've said it before where players take their cue from the manager. Not necessarily that they don't in other sports, but because baseball is the everyday game. As that ball's ripped to right field and down into the corner. Mondesi on his way to second base. He's got at least a double. He pulled up around.
He missed first
base. I guess he must have, huh?
Or did he? Now wait, he might have had a hamstring.
No, I think he missed it.
Okay. If he missed it, then that was a triple all the way.
I don't know if he just got his footwork messed up.
Well, that's a cutter inside. He turned on it. That would have been a triple for this guy. Well, he had to go back. Yeah. Probably missed the bag. Sure did. Tucked it with his left foot. You know, and tried to cut it and his left foot.
And I think he heard Alonso maybe saying something. He thought, man, I better go back.
Yep. Well, that's a break.
Yeah, because that's at least a double. And on this ballpark,
That's
as
a
you
triple
pointed
for
out,
him.
it might have been a triple.
It was a triple for him.
Oh, man, he got to jump.
Goodness.
He stole that like.
Well, he held it. That's the first stolen base off Kluber this year. You got to go back to when they played Colorado last year was the last stolen base off Kluber. Watch, he doesn't even see him, and he's just holding the ball, but boy, did he guess right. And most guys will stop, and we've seen it recently.
I
He
saw
kept
him
right on
Alonso
going.
yell, but either Kluber didn't hear him or he just was so locked into his delivery that he wasn't able to step off.
Look at the number of innings. 250 in the third innings since the last stolen base off Kluber. That was against the Colorado Rockies last year.
And that's blooped to right. Base hit. They're going to wave him home. Here comes Cabrera's throw. It is not in time, and we are tied at 1. So Whit Merrifield with his 45th run batted into the year.
Little two-seamer on the inside. And he fires it out to right field. And then comes Cabrera with the throw. Not a bad throw, but he beats it home. And they will tie the game up.
So missing the bag did not hurt the Royals in the least. And Alex Gordon steps in. And we'll see how aggressively Merrifield runs the bases. He leads the team and tied for the league lead with 28 steals.
this is a Kansas City team. They're 5th in the league in stolen bases. They have 74. And they know they'll run. So going to keep them close, keep an eye on them. Take a look at Mondesi going from second home. Good turn right there around third base coming in. 7 seconds scoring from second base. Well done.
Alonso to second for one, back to first. It's an inning-ending double play. Nicely done, and the inning is over. But the Royals tie the game at 1 through 3.
That's courtesy of NOCO when the Indians take on the Twins. That'll be Wednesday. You can grab a $15 district ticket presented by Sports Time or a $15 KeyBank Kids ticket online only. Enjoy the ball game out at the ballpark. You can get your tickets at Indians.com or use the ballpark app.
Fourth inning, Jose Ramirez will lead it off for the Indians. Down in the dirt. Foul out of play.
Let's send out a happy 37th anniversary to Gary Katz and Leslie Mahaloff. And happy birthdays to Jack Zay, 95 from Highland Heights. Wanda Malley is 88 from Ashtabula. And Zach Jackson from Portage Lake. Big Indians fan. Happy birthday to you all.
It's a big night for Swenson's, I can tell you that, when it's Zach Jackson's birthday. Jose Ramirez, he hit a line drive that was caught by Mondesi, the shortstop, in the first. The 3-2. Fouls it out of play.
I just fought that one off. It was upstairs. Not much you could do with it.
One more birthday. Charlie Wilhelm is 83 in Westlake, Ohio.
Any relation to Hoyt?
No, but he's next door neighbors to Jim Folks, so he should get
okay.
a Medal of Commendation. 3-2 hammered foul down the right side.
Did Jimmy ever check in on this problem we had here in Kansas City?
Yeah, his response was, "I'm glad it's not me."
I bet he did.
The 3-2 is a ground ball right at the second baseman. One down.
Start dead batteries with NOCO.
Heath Philmeyer. I think maybe his nickname should be Filthmeyer, the way he's been throwing the ball here tonight. A couple of strikeouts, he's given up just the one hit. And the only run allowed was by his own doing on the balk.
Right.
Otherwise, he'd be working on a shutout right now. Edwin struck out his first time up. This is his inning, though. I don't know what it is, but he has more home runs in the fourth inning than any other inning this year, and more hits in the fourth inning. He's got 16 hits on the year, 5 home runs, all coming in the fourth inning. So you're figuring that's the second time around. Maybe he's got a better beat on the pitcher, better idea what's going on. Doesn't happen this time.
I don't know, but
great clip of the game from last night. Yonder Alonso, not once, but twice, going deep. And he's got hits now in 10 of his last 13 games. 22 homers on the year.
I told you about Philmeyer in his last start. They spotted him 6 runs early, and it was the 4th inning against the White Sox where he gave up 3 homers and a 6-run inning. But he has the first 2 out in this start in the 4th inning.
Now he falls behind. Alonso 2-0. Alonso binging a little bit on the home run ball. Smoked. Fair. Bonifacio cuts it off, holds him to a long 2-out single. You get a guy in a 2-0 count, and he's digging in, looking to do some damage.
Well, he threw him an off-speed pitch, and they gave him some swinging. Watch the extension on this pitch. That's a lot like that home run he hit last night, except it was up maybe a little bit more when he was able to hit that ball into the bullpen. But he hit a line drive there, got it over the shift. So it's a 2-out single.
We've had this conversation before. Yonder, after a couple days off in Boston, said it was easier for him to relax in the box last night. Said he needed it mentally more than he needed it physically, just to take a couple days off and get back at it.
Melky Cabrera, he roped one down the right field line for a double that sent Alonso all the way to third his last time up. Good eyes. Cabrera watches one bounce in the dirt. And that drifts in there for a strike. Jason Kipnis waits on deck. Will he get a chance to hit here in the fourth? It'll be up to Cabrera to decide. And he slaps it the other way, foul. Ground ball scooped up by Herrera, and the inning is over. Middle of the fourth, 1-1 score.
Names from all the players that you get a chance to see. Andre,
Arch, what would you put on yours? Would it just be Arch like we had yesterday?
Well, that's the nickname I earned through baseball. So yeah, but I could put a couple other ones like I told you yesterday on mine, but I don't know if they'd let me wear it.
I don't know about protein shake. I got to talk to Brad Hand about that. I think.
Which one do you like the best?
I like Mr. 305 for Yonder.
Yeah, well, it paid dividends last night, didn't it?
It did. And Bieber's is good, too, because Bieber's got the right personality for it.
All right.
And we'll hear from him tomorrow before the game. But how about the guy on the mound? At first, I didn't like it, but after talking to Corey Kluber, I respect it, because it's Corey Kluber at his finest.
Well, he went Klubs last year, right?
And they made fun of him.
Greg Allen can't get it. And Salvador Perez has a leadoff double for Kansas City here in the fourth. Now we know why Kluber pitched around him his first time up.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Greg Allen did a nice job, and that's a little cutter away that he smokes to right center field. Allen made a nice run to get to this ball. It hit his glove, and I'm sure he's going to be upset he didn't catch it because he went a long way for it. And I mean, he's on a dead sprint. Not that it's an easy play, but it's on his glove hand side going that way to his left. So that's one that you're frustrated when you're an outfielder. You run that hard and you run that far and it hits your glove and it doesn't stay in it.
Kansas City a chance to take the lead. Duda going to try to get Perez over to third now. And Corey's fastball misses low and away.
Well, he wasted no time. It was 3 pitches to get Duda out the first time up. But he's going to try and work him to where he can't move the runner. It is Perez on second base, and he's one of the slowest runners there is. Had an impact on a play last night. What was that back in the where he was thrown out at second base on a fly ball.
Now 2-1. Hit off the end of the bat to third. Ramirez.
Called it.
He won't have a play. It'll be an infield single for Duda.
Well, there's nothing you can do to defense that. Off the end of the bat, Ramirez just catches it and holds it. You can't make the throw across. You wouldn't have had time to get him. And Perez would not have moved up. But that's just a you know, a funky play right there. Infield single. So first and second now, nobody out for Kansas City here in the 4th.
It's a good thing he didn't have to make a play because the umpire was right in his way.
Would he do a little screening?
Yeah, I don't know what the heck he was doing, but it almost looked like he was his dance partner. So first and second, nobody out. Jorge Bonifacio, he blooped a single to right his first time up. The Royals have hit into a double play in each of the last 2 innings, so Kluber is looking for another ground ball here. And the way he can cut it and sink it, he's got a chance to get a double play ball. Ran him back off the plate. How about this?
Third base. Oh my
Kluber
goodness.
missed an easy out at third.
You know what? He just took it, and he had it. You got to know your base runners there. And I'm sure Gomes might have been yelling. I mean, you had the right guy. He had plenty of time to go to third base and get the lead runner. It looked like he didn't even think about it, Matt. And this was bunted hard right back to him. He had the perfect opportunity to go to third base and get the lead runner. Didn't do it. Went to first, so it's a sacrifice. They now have runners at second and third.
1-1 game. The Indians will bring the infield partway in. They can afford to play back a little bit because,
yes, they can.
Frankly, Perez is about as slow a runner as there is in all of baseball.
Well, you're going to make it go through here.
That's going to be trouble if it's fair. It is, and the Royals have taken a lead. Ryan O'Hearn with a 2-run double, and it's 3-1 Kansas City, their third hit in the inning.
See the pitch, little cutter that stayed right there. It's sort of flat, and he laced it down the line. It stayed fair, gets down into the corner. O'Hearn will get his third double, give him a couple of RBIs, and Kansas City will take a 3-1 lead now.
And the batter is Hunter Dozier. Swing and a miss, strike one. Dozier has hit in 5 straight games for Kansas City. Last night, his only hit of the game was the game-winning home run. Out of play, right side. The double just off the end of the glove of Greg Allen in deep center field started the inning. A squibbed infield hit by Lucas Duda to third. And then a ringing two-run double by Ryan O'Hearn has put Kansas City ahead 3-1. Now, granted, it's only the fourth inning. But the other side of the story is the Indians have 2 hits tonight. Popped up foul ground. Alonso has room, apparently, reaches over the railing and makes the catch. 2 away.
Watch him snag it right at the end. Does he surprise anybody in there? They want it. That lady was looking up and saying, she's happy. She had a Royals jersey on, but she was happy he caught it.
Yeah. As close as maybe she's ever been to big league action right there. And Rosel Herrera struck out his only time up in the third. He was the leadoff batter last inning. And 2 the count. The 0-2 upstairs. He's able to lay off. It's down low. Count evens up, 2 balls, 2 strikes with a runner at second, 2 down here in the fourth. Full count. This has been an excruciatingly long inning for Kluber. This will be his 60th pitch of the night. Strike 3 called. The inning is over. But Kansas City, 2 runs on 3 hits. They leave a man, but they lead it 3-1 through 4. The perfect getaway vehicle. Visit KiaDealers.com to learn more. By Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. And by your Chevy Network dealers. Visit clickchevy.com. Chevrolet. Find new roads. 3-1 Kansas City, 5th inning. Jason Kipnis leads it off. And Phil Myers pitches outside, ball 1.
Kipnis was at the plate when he balked in the first run back in the 2nd inning.
Out of play. Down the left side. I'm sure there are some people that might look at the Indians and the Red Sox series at Fenway Park, the 4-gamer, and would say after it was over that both the Indians and the Red Sox were bound for a letdown. Both teams lost last night. Both teams are losing again tonight.
Matt, I went to Tito yesterday before yesterday's game, and I said, do you believe in, a letdown or anything like that? And he says, people are human beings. He goes, of course those guys are up for it. He goes, and this goes back to what we were talking about earlier about this team playing better in the second half. But Tito says, I never put an emphasis on one game over another.
No.
And they know that. He says, but it's natural to have a little bit of a letdown because of the atmosphere that they had in Boston. He goes, but that's not who we are, and we've got to overcome that no matter what, because this game is just as important in the standings as maybe the game on Wednesday or Thursday was.
I think it kind of goes back to the individual to find whatever it takes to get yourself motivated and ready to go out and play on each and every given night. And as you said, Andre, some games you don't have to do anything but put the uniform on and you're ready to go.
And he appreciates that.
And then there are games where you've got to figure something out to get yourself hyped a little bit. I don't know, I just thought it was interesting. Now, granted, there's a big difference between Tampa and Kansas City.
For sure.
The Rays, they've won 6 in a row. There's, I think, 7 games over 500. They're playing really well. Kansas City is not. But both teams
the
have
Rays swept the Royals 4 straight.
Yeah.
Now, Arch, does that go to when you talk about everyday players that have a little energy? And I think the energy guys for the Indians are probably Lindor and Ramirez, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, but, the same ones can't do it every single day.
Right.
You've got to come as a team. You've got to come as a unit. You've just got to execute them. You've got your best pitcher on the mound tonight, and they've got 2 hits, and they were balked in a run. So they haven't done anything offensively to this point. And Kansas City, coming off a little high from yesterday, I think, with the walk-off, they've got 3 runs on 6 hits. So they're playing with a little more intensity, it looks like.
Well, is that the hardest thing as a player, Arch, just when you're in the dog days of August, no matter what side you're on, no matter how your body feels, to get up and be the same every night?
Oh, nice piece of hitting by Yan Gomes.
And Gomes, he's continuing to do his thing.
No surprise there. He's been red hot in the month of August, and he's got his 4th hit in the series already. And this was not a bad pitch.
No, look at that ball.
Good pitch for Gomer.
Good for him. That ball was probably out of the strike zone. You see how he cut off his swing at the end and just gets a base hit to left field. That's only the 3rd hit.
Well, that second time through the order, the Indians fared only slightly better than they did the first time through. They had 1 hit the first time through. They have 2 hits now. Second time through is Greg Allen bats.
Sometimes when you get into these games like this and you're playing and there's not a whole lot of atmosphere or what you're doing, you wait for something to happen instead of making something happen. You sit back and you wait, okay, someone's going to do it, and you believe someone's going to, okay, here we go. There's a base hit, okay, here we go. When it doesn't happen, you end up running out of outs.
Greg Allen smoked the ball his last time up, but Whit Merrifield made a nice running catch.
He sure did. And he's normally a second baseman for these Kansas City Royals. But he plays all over the field here. He's played right field. He's played second. He can play anywhere.
He's what the old timers used to call a baseball player. And some people make fun of that and say, well, wait, they're all baseball. No, some guys are outfielders. Some guys are second basemen. Some guys are they're just
stuck at one position.
This guy can play at about anywhere they throw him.
He's versatile. He can go and do a number of different things for your club. He's very valuable to your club.
Jose Ramirez is like that for the Indians, and he's proven that he'll go anywhere they ask him to do. One-two pitch up high. And also, Arch, when you've got a team like Kansas City right now, they're looking to the future. If they had a playoff contending team, you wouldn't see Merrifield bouncing around. He'd be in one position probably.
Exactly. Well, they know. It was just 3 years ago where this team won the World Series. And, they know they're going to have to remain patient because they chose that's going to go. Keep running. Is it?
Look at Merrifield.
No, he got over it.
It just hung in the air forever.
It did. I didn't think it was hit that far.
Let's take another look. I thought it was going to
look from that swing. He didn't hit it that hard. I thought it was going to be a floater out there, but it stayed up long enough.
And so 2 down for Lindor. The Indians' top 4 hitters tonight are 0 for 8. And while it is always nice to get production from the bottom part of the order, if the Indians don't get production from one of these top 4 guys, they're not usually going to score a lot of runs.
Well, right. Your bottom part's not going to cover you. They did one game in the Boston series. The bottom part of the lineup did, but overall, that's not going to be the case.
In off the plate. 2-1 the count. This will already be the 90th pitch of the night for Philmeyer with 2 out here in the 5th inning. And a lot of Kansas City starters are 5,
young
6
pitchers. That's right. Yeah. They're young guys. They come up from the minor leagues. They've spent some time in the bullpen. They can't throw a lot of consistent strikes. They go deep into counts. And when you're down as a minor league pitcher, and you come up to the big leagues when you're facing good lineups, and if you go 5 innings, that's going to be about it. You've got to be efficient. You've got to pitch in front. You've got to pitch to contact. But that's all a learning process.
Lindor rolls over on it. Easy play, inning over. Halfway through, 3-1 Kansas City. Tomorrow afternoon here in Kansas City, Shane, not Justin Bieber. We'll start for the Indians, and our coverage begins with Indians Live at 1:30. First pitch at 2 on Sports Time Ohio and streaming on Fox Sports Go. That's what's printed on the back of Shane Bieber's jersey, not Justin. Players weekend throughout Major League Baseball. But Corey Kluber showing his contempt for Players Weekend, opting for just Kluber and not Justin.
There he is. He'll be towing the rubber tomorrow.
Swing and a miss by Adalberto Mondesi. Single, stole a base, and scored in the 3rd inning. That tied the game at 1. Kansas City pushed 2 across in the 4th to take the lead. And he goes down swinging. 5 Ks for Kluber. Back to Cleveland with a game break. Here's Al Pawlowski. Thanks, Al. I mean, that National League Central's still wide open.
Oh, yeah. They had to work hard to get their win last night.
You would think the Cubs will prevail, and they've got the 3-game lead, but you've got 2 teams that are nipping at their heels. And man, what happened to the Pirates? It looked like they were about ready to take off, and now they've gone the other way.
Everybody said, let's go. You got to be buyers.
Yeah.
Remember, they came into Cleveland. They were on a roll offensively. They went out and they acquired Archer, a couple of players. And yeah, sometimes, most times it doesn't work out.
Down low. Whit Merrifield, an RBI hit his last time up. Topper to short, and Lindor able to throw him out. Mid-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. It was 1-0 Cleveland on a balk. And then the Royals tied it on the Whit Merrifield hit in the 3rd and took the lead on a 2-run double by Ryan O'Hearn in the 4th. There's a ground ball right at Jason Kipnis. He charges in and throws him out. 5 in the books. Kansas City 3, Cleveland 1. progressive field to recognize all the exceptional work that they do each day, as well as give employees a chance to connect outside the work. Look at that, they're watching the ball game on the big screen. The caregivers and their families have the opportunity to enjoy family-friendly activities. They get to run the bases, they're playing catch on the field, watch the party, to cheer on the tribe, and all sorts of things, all provided by the Cleveland Indians, and they're going to have a fireworks show.
Beautiful. Well, welcome everybody. Let's
Special
go.
shout out to everybody back home in Cleveland watching the ball game tonight. Hopefully the Indians can get the bats rolling here. They're down 3-1.
Well, make some noise so they can hear you here in Kansas City.
Right on. Sixth inning, Michael Brantley to lead it off. He is 0 for 2 tonight. Another strike. And Brantley's in the hole. Two balls, two strikes. No action in the Kansas City bullpen as Phil Meyer closes in on the 100 pitch mark.
Yeah, there is no action, but you would figure that this will probably be his last inning, unless he has an awfully quick one.
Popped him up, back out of play. Swung on and missed. Boy, that was a nice pitch. Looked like he turned one over. And that'll be his third strikeout of the night. Well, Phil Meyer's working on a 3-hit shutout into the 6th inning.
Well, a little low four-seamer there. He's mixed his pitches well, and he's moved it around. He's had the slider, the changeup, and that two-seam fastball to go along with a four-seamer. He's kept it down for the most part and has been in command of this ball game. 3 hits for the Tribe.
Back out of play. Now the 2-1. .57% strikes for Phil Meyer. And just now a left-hander getting loose in the KC pen. You know, that number might even be a little deceiving. 57% for strikes, but how many times has he had Indians pitchers, hitters chasing pitches out of the strike zone?
Yeah, they haven't had good swings at some of his pitches. So now you get the pitching coach that goes out and kills for time, and now you'll get that bullpen up.
It's only his second walk tonight. The first one led to the Indians' only run in the 2nd inning, and it also came with 1 out after he had struck out the leadoff hitter.
Start dead batteries with NOCO.
All right, so we've reached this point. We're halfway through the weekend here, Players Weekend. Favorite all-time baseball nicknames? Like when you think of great nicknames of all time, what are the first ones that come to mind that you're like, oh, that was a great, I love that one?
Oh, God. What about Oil Can Boyd?
That's right up there. Love that nickname.
I mean, because I was talking to somebody about that in Boston. One of the guys, when he pitched in Cleveland, he didn't like pitching so close to the ocean.
I have that written down here. It's on my list. I got a bunch written down that I.
Well, that just popped up into my mind. I haven't really thought about all time.
Here's Edwin Encarnacion. I think one of your teammates has one of the best nicknames of all time, even though he's not real crazy about it himself, and that's Mike Hargrove, the human rain delay.
Well,
I mean, as far as nicknames go, that's pretty good.
Well, he took a lot of time getting into the batter's box, and then, you know, people didn't like it. So I know he doesn't like it because that was his style, as a hitter, the kind of hitter he was.
Foul right
back. How about
Mark
the Bird Fidrich?
The Bird, there you go. Yeah.
Bird's a word, man. It was.
Edwin got one right down the slot.
Oh, man. Well,
and he is not happy about it.
What are you going to do? I mean, you get it. When you're going good, you hit it. When you're not, you foul it off. I thought Ray Fosse was Muley with Mike Hegan. The mule.
Because he was strong like a mule?
Yes, yeah.
Maybe stubborn
Muley,
like one,
yeah,
too.
Right.
Well, you know, you think of the old-time great nicknames, the Splendid Splinter. That's going to be tough to top that for Ted Williams, the Yankee Clipper for Joe DiMaggio, the Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays. Man, Mickey Mantle was so good, he didn't really need a nickname. That name alone.
The Mick.
I mean, Shoeless Joe Jackson. That's an all-timer. Ramirez at first, tying run at the plate. And Ramirez draws a throw.
Cool Papa Bell.
And Buck O'Neill, who's a legend here in Kansas City, was once asked, why did they call him cool? And he said, if you have to ask, then you don't know. Double play ball to short. Boy, how do you like that? Edwin had one to hit. He could have hit it 10 miles. He fouled it back in frustration. Then it's into an inning-ending double play.
on Saturday and be one of the 12,500 fans to receive a 1948 Indians road jersey. That'll be courtesy of Meritech when the Indians will host the Rays. Fans 21 and over get to the game early. Enjoy $2 domestic beers out in the district. You can stay after the game. The Big Band Rat Pack fireworks display presented by Wayside Furniture. Get your tickets at Indians.com.
Salvador Perez leads off the bottom of the 6th for Kansas City. He doubled and scored his last time up when he led off the 4th inning. Corey Kluber tries to back him up. Swung on and missed. It's 2-1. I thought for sure you'd go right for Stan the Man.
Well, I thought that was his real name. I didn't know that was a nickname.
You know what I never knew? I guess this is just me being dumb. Satchel Paige. His real name was Leroy, and Satchel was his nickname.
Yeah.
There's a breaking ball in for a strike. Georgia Peach, Ty Cobb.
Oh, yeah, you're going way back now.
And Corey Kluber punches him out. That's 6 strikeouts for the reigning Cy Young Award winner. Injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk. Buster Posey, season is over.
Yeah, that's too bad for the Giants. 6 to 8 months.
Hit a long way, deep right, back is Melky Cabrera, and it is gone. Lucas Duda with his 12th home run of the year, and it extends the Kansas City lead to 4-1.
Looks like it was a curveball from Kluber. See if it stayed up in the zone for Duda as he hits his 12th. Take a look at the pitch. Yeah, that curveball sort of flat at 83, and it just stayed out over the plate, and he hit it over the fence.
The dude.
22nd home run allowed by Kluber.
Jorge Bonifacio is a hit and a sacrifice tonight, and he shoots one through the right side of the infield. Both of his hits have gone that way here tonight. So 8 hits now for the Royals. And Carl Willis is going to call the bullpen. How about Double Duty Radcliffe?
Double, yeah.
That was a great nickname. He 1932 World Series. He was a member of the Negro Leagues. He caught the first game and then pitched a shutout in the second one. And they said he's worth the price of 2 admissions. I'd have to say, though, I think my favorite nickname is Andres Galarraga, El Gato Grande.
Yeah, the big cat.
Yeah.
That is
cool.
good.
It's
yeah, it is.
Different.
We had an El Gato.
Yeah,
Felix for me.
That's right.
Poquito, the little one. He was a little cat.
Didn't they call Rusty Staub Grand L'Orange when he played in Montreal?
Yes, they did.
That's pretty cool too. Two and one to count on Ryan O'Hearn here in the 6th inning. He did damage in the 4th with a 2-run double. Oliver Perez getting loose. Kluber's still only at 84 pitches though. His counterpart, Phil Meyer, is over 100. He went too far. We got a full count. Hunter Dozier is next, unless Kluber can get another ground ball double play. The Indians have turn 2 on the night. See if they turn Bonifacio loose. He does not go, and it is fouled off.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to send him when Kluber can strike you out, and Bonifacio, not a base stealer, hasn't tried one this year, so you don't want to strike him out, throw him out.
Dan Otero is also getting loose in the Cleveland bullpen. Did he go? He did not. It's ball 4, and that's 3 straight down that have reached here in the 6th inning. Carl Willis to the top of the dugout, and he's going to make his way to the center of the diamond.
Could very well be his last hitter.
It would appear that Kansas City's starter Heath Philmeyer is done after 105 pitches. The left-hander's still up in the KC pen.
Yeah, they've been up for quite a while. Corey with 1 out is going to try and get out of this inning as quickly as possible.
Hunter Dozier will be the batter.
He did get him Dozier to ground into the double play back in the 2nd inning to end it. He could use another ground ball right here.
Line to left. Brantley will play it on a bounce. And the Royals extend the lead to 5-1. 4 straight have reached safely here in the 6th. And that's the 3rd hit of the inning. And Terry Francona talking it over with Carl Willis.
If they're ready, he's going to go get him. Absolutely. There's a flat cutter right there in the middle of the plate. And Dozier lines it into left field, gets the base hit, and Kluber's night will be over.
Kluber goes 5 1/3. He's given up 5 runs on 9 hits tonight. He has struck out 6, but he will leave on the short end of the score here this evening. Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen has been made for Oliver Perez, and we'll be right back.
Today's Tribe Rewards code is BaseRunner. Visit Indians.com for complete details.
Oliver Perez on to face Rosell Herrera with 2 on and 1 out here in the 6th. Got back-to-back switch hitters, Herrera then Mondesi. And both Herrera and Mondesi are better hitters from the other side of the plate. Swung out and missed. 1-1 the count.
Perez has done a really nice job his last 28 games since June 17th. 6 hits, a couple of earned runs, 19 strikeouts. Hitters just 6 for 51 off him. Is it hard enough to get 2?
There's one on to first. Inning ending double play. So Oliver Perez gets the 2 for 1 ball. But the Indians find themselves down now 5-1. Local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk. Proud partners of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. City of Fountains, Kansas City. 5-1 Royals on top, 7th inning. They go to their bullpen for the first time. It's the left-handed slinger, Tim Hill.
You're right, he does sling it. I used to see a few more lefties around the game like that, but where he releases the ball, there's very few of them left.
Yonder Alonso, Melky Cabrera, and Jason Kipnis for the Indians here in the 7th inning. And while this has not been that kind of night you're used to seeing from Corey Kluber, it has also been a night in which the Indians offense has fallen flat. Just 3 hits. Yonder Alonso has one of them. That came back in the 4th inning.
Kansas City does have a right-hander backing up in the bullpen.
But as I mentioned earlier, you know, Boston, they lost down in Tampa 5-1 tonight. So kind of like the Indians, the Red Sox also. And you know what, that sounds really disrespectful to the other team, because hey, those guys get paid too, as the saying goes.
Any given night.
But both teams have just fallen flat right after that series.
You can't just walk out and throw your gloves out on the field and expect to win. I don't care what your record is and what the other team's record is. You've got to go out and beat them, because this team that's out there in the blue, they're trying to beat you. I mean, that's a feather in their cap if they can do that. You're the best team in this division. They're in your division, and they're going to come at you and give you everything they have.
And whether it matters or not to a team like Kansas City, because they have so many young players that are just kind of fighting for their lives, trying to make an impression, stick around, that type of thing. Hey, but when you look at their schedule, realistically, the only teams they play the rest of the season that will be playing meaningful games against them are the Indians. That's it. Everybody else, they're playing for next year as well.
Right.
Swung on and missed. Down goes Alonso. Well, our Lowe's whole team together shows you what the Indians have done against the American League Central Division. Since the start of 2016, they have dominated it.
Yeah, they certainly have. And this is a division that's now a lot of rebuilds in it. It started after last year with Chicago. This year, Minnesota, and of course, Kansas City.
But it's interesting in that it didn't start out that way. Minnesota thought they had a chance to challenge. Kansas City wasn't completely throwing in the towel. They brought back Mike Moustakas.
Detroit, they're rebuilding, and then they had the injuries to Cabrera. But the Central Division, there's no doubt it's the worst division in baseball this year.
And just a few years ago, it was one of the toughest.
Yeah.
That's how fast it changes. It's what the Indians want to avoid. It's what I think Dayton Moore would like to try and avoid. And that is that you go for it, and then the price you pay is you become irrelevant. And you want to always have a chance. As Cabrera lines one to left field, down the line it goes into the corner. He'll head to second base with a one-out double, and it's his second one of the night.
Well, knowing Dayton Moore, he wants to sustain something. He's not buying into the fact that because you're a small market team that you can go out there and maybe every 5 years you're going to play well or come up and have a chance to win. He believes you got to stay that way and sustain championships. He came up in the Atlanta Braves organization, and he believes that wholeheartedly. You've got to draft, develop. You cannot make mistakes. Heads up, Mike.
Well, it's not that you can't make mistakes, but you've got to hit on more than you miss.
Yeah, and making your trades, and they unloaded a lot of their farm system to go for it back in 15 when they ended up winning. With Cincinnati to get Cueto, they traded Sean Manaea to Oakland. They've given up some guys, but that's all part of the process. If you think you have to go for it to win it, but they did win it. They got to back-to-back World Series.
And the Indians are no stranger to that. They've traded some key pieces to their future.
Yeah, and the last two times the Indians were in the World Series, they lost in Game 7.
Well, Jason Kipnis putting up a good at bat so far. He's ahead in the count, 2-1. You've got Yan Gomes on deck, so this might be the last hitter that he'll face.
I would agree.
He rolls one over toward first. It stays fair. And that'll be out number 2. Cabrera moves to third. And here comes Ned Yost. So we've got a timeout for a pitching change with 2 down and a runner at third here in the 7th, and the Royals on top 5-1. presented by Cover My Meds, that lights up the Cleveland Memorial Shoreway on Saturday night. Register at neocycle.org. Left-hander, or I should say right-hander, Jake Newberry is the new pitcher after he relieves the lefty Tim Hill. I don't know who's responsible for penning the Kansas City game notes, but I know it's not Mike Swanson because he doesn't have this kind of literary ability. But under Jake Newberry, they write that Jake danced out of danger in the 7th Thursday at the Trop.
You know, he's going to hear about what you just said to him. You know that. He'll be here bright and early in the morning.
That's really.
With donuts.
That's really well written. It might be Mike Cummings.
Right.
Puts it out there in the game notes. There's a pop-up on the infield. And this is going to get Kansas City out of the inning. The Tribe strands a runner at third. Stretch time in Kansas City. The Royals lead it 5-1. Includes your first drink. I mean, you can't get a better deal at the ballpark. It's $15. You can only get them online, Indians.com/district ticket. You got the corner and right field, the drink rails and left. It is the place to be. Hope to see you at the ballpark. Indians have a big homestand coming up after they finish up this road trip tomorrow here in Kansas City. OT, Dan Otero coming on to pitch here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Oliver Perez did his job, got a double play ball. There's a ground ball off the foot of Adalberto Mondesi. Well, I think in just a small sample size, we are seeing what Royal enthusiasts have seen from Mondesi. There is skill, there is talent there. As you pointed out earlier, if he can stay healthy and stay on the field, he's got a chance to be a difference maker for the Royals. He's got tremendous speed. He's got the instincts defensively.
Going to get down the line.
Beats that play out. That's the speed I'm talking about.
There you go. They'll go take a look at it, but I think he beat it out.
It's going to be an infield hit.
You cannot mess around. The Ball gets deflected, and by the time Kipnis comes up with it and throws it to first base, guess what? He's going to be safe. Head down, run straight through the bag. He sure did.
He has stolen 17 out of 20 on the year. I don't know how he got caught 3 times, but he stole a base back in the 3rd inning, and Corey Kluber never even saw him go.
Well, stealing base is an art. It's not how fast you are.
There's a fair ball down the left field line. Whit Merrifield. He sends Mondesi to 3rd. They'll wave him home. He'll score without a throw. An RBI double, and it's 6-1 Kansas City.
Merrifield gets his 2nd hit, his 2nd RBI, and Will told you this kid can run. It's a sinker inside, and he speeds up his bat. He gets it past Ramirez, and let's watch Mondesi turn it on and go. He makes good cuts around the bag. Let's go. That's no question. That's fun if you're a third base coach and you have him out there.
Now Alex Gordon 0 for 3 tonight.
Kansas City now with 11 hits in the ball game. 3 doubles, a home run.
Whit Merrifield had his 12-game hitting streak stopped last night when he went 0 for 3. But he has bounced back here tonight with 2 hits. His RBI single tied the game in the 3rd. And his RBI double here in the 7th has extended Kansas City's lead. And that has been the impressive thing about the Royals tonight, where they have scored 6 unanswered runs. So they have continued to keep the pressure on.
He knew it.
Gordon strikes out. First out of the inning. And this is probably not something that the Royals have done a lot of throughout the year, which is score and then add on. I mean, you don't lose 90 games by late August by putting together many games like this one tonight.
Yeah, but you know what they can do, and when they do get a lead, they can relax a little bit and enjoy it instead of playing catch up, which I'm sure they've done their share of throughout the course of this year.
Ripped foul.
They can go up there free and easy and say, let's go, man, have some fun. Let's take a look at Mondesi going first to home. Once he puts his head down, and now you're looking at the sprint speed of 30 feet per second. Now those are the fastest guys. It's like Hamilton, Billy Hamilton, Buxton, Zimmer. Those are the guys that are at the 30 mark, and he is right there.
But that guy does it, and it looks almost effortless. I mean, some guys, when they run, it looks like they are
chugging,
giving everything they have. He just
glides.
Yeah. Perez with a liner to left, caught by Brantley, and it's going to be an easy inning-ending double play. I don't know what the heck Merrifield was doing.
Yeah, he thought either was going to fall
or he forgot there were 2.
Yes.
Only 1 out. In any event, it's now 6-1 Kansas City. All right, Al, be on the lookout for those werewolves tonight.
Full moon.
Jake Newberry got the last out on the 7th. He'll go to work in the 8th. And he's got Greg Allen, Frankie Lindor, Michael Brantley due up. Indians down 5 as we start the 8th. Greg Allen 0 for 2 tonight. Allen scalded a ball to center field. His first time up back in the 3rd, and Whit Merrifield ran it down. Trying to bunt, takes a strike. To short, Mondesi. 1 away. Let's recap our storylines brought to you by your Ford dealers. Indians were looking for an early bounce back. They did score first, but it came on a balk. That's the only run they have tonight. And Corey Kluber, who has been on quite a roll and has been a dominant pitcher in the month of August the last several years. But tonight just didn't have it.
He won his last 4 road games, his last 5 games against Kansas City, and has been on a roll, but didn't have it tonight. Breaking stuff was flat. It was one of those days.
Oakland leads Minnesota 4-2. They're in the 7th inning in Minneapolis. Houston shutting out the Angels, but they're just underway actually. That game just started, but the Astros putting up 3 in the 1st.
All right, watch out for them. They're going to get hot again.
They lead Oakland by a 1.5 games. And if they get hot, the way the Indians are going right now, the Tribe could be in trouble as far as trying to secure the second best record in the American League. I mean, they're already 5 games back at Houston at the start of play tonight.
With 33 left after tonight.
.32 after tonight.
Is it 32?
Let me see where we at. This is game 129, so yeah, 33 after tonight. That's the West, and as you said, Houston, as they start to get the pieces back together, they could go on a roll.
Yeah, I really believe they will.
Indians have dropped 3 straight. But what they do have going for them, if they can shake out of this slump, is a very favorable schedule the rest of the way. And the Astros will have some tough games ahead in their division.
I look at it this way. Every game in your division is tough. I don't care what they're doing. We're witnessing this in this 2-game series here so far. You get into your own division, they play so often. There's never a given. If there was, it would be tonight. You'd say, okay, you got Kluber on the mound. The way he's been pitching, you're going to win this ball game. Well, it's not turning out that way.
Out of play. 2 down, bases empty, and the 2-2 to Brantley. Up the ladder, struck him out. Middle of the 8th, 6-1 Kansas City. Light, hold true moment. The defense held their own, especially early in the game. Second inning, a 6-4-3 double play. Third inning, Yonder starts a 3-6-3 inning-ending double play. They did it again in the 6th inning.
3 double play balls. Let's minimize some of the damage. Kansas City with 11 hits. They have 6 runs. And now Josh Tomlin's going to come out of the bullpen for the Tribe.
Tomlin working against the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Kansas City. Lucas Duda will lead it off. Duda went deep his last time up. And he strokes one into right field. That'll hit down into the corner. And the big guy will be satisfied with a leadoff double. Well, let's go down to Andre.
Well, for Josh Tomlin, I had a very interesting conversation with him a few days ago in Boston, where he admitted he started looking in the mirror and started trying to figure out if he was done as a pitcher on the big league level. It's been a frustrating season for him. He went down to Akron. He went to Columbus when he was on the DL, and he worked on some stuff. The thing that he said is he's always known that he can't blow people away. But what's been frustrating for this season is he hasn't been able to put the ball where he wants it. And we all know that's the one thing he has always been able to do. Now, Tito said that he saved the bullpen a couple days ago coming into here, and they just want him to get back to having some belief in his stuff and throwing the stuff that's gotten him to this point in his career.
You have to have results at the end of the day. I mean, that's what feeds one's confidence, is having success, knowing that you can do it. When you don't have that success, doubt creeps into your mind, and then you're in that situation where you start to question whether or not you still have it.
Well, and as I say, the hitters will let you know.
And he start questioning it, and then he says when you're in between starts, you can't change everything. And we've talked about this with hitters. One guy says you may want to try this. One guy says you may want to try this. He says before you know it, it's a 2-1 count, and you know I'm trying stuff rather than pitching.
Off the end of the bat, Brantley has to hurry. He's there. 1 away. You know, Andre, the one thing that we have seen is pitchers, I don't know that Josh Tomlin will ever be able to reinvent himself, but we've seen guys, when their stuff starts to lose its effectiveness, come up with a pitch that separates them. So he's got some kind of Bugs Bunny changeup or something that really takes the hitters off. If he could figure out a way to do that, then I think he could still find a way to be effective. The thing that we've seen this year, and I'm sure that he has noticed as well, is that a lot of his pitches are too close, too similar in velocity range.
Right. Separation is not there.
Another run home for Kansas City. Boy, it is their night. They are rolling up now. 7-1.
They're loose, they're happy, and there's a ball middle of the plate. He cannot stay in the middle of the plate with the velo that he's throwing up there. You've got to hit your edges, and it's not that easy to do. 13 hits now for Kansas City. Like I said, they get a lead. They're free and easy now. They have nothing to worry about. It's like batting practice.
The 7 runs for the Royals tonight is the most runs they have scored since August 8th, when they shut out the Cubs 9-0. That snaps a string of 15 straight games in which they did not score more than 6 runs.
Wasn't that another Phil Myers start, I believe, in that Cubs game? Yeah,
9-0 game.
Sure was.
In fact, it was his last win. Hit well to left, but Brantley runs it down. 2 away. So, Arch, this is only the 4th time since the All-Star break that Kansas City has scored more than 6 runs.
Yeah, they're last in the league in runs scored.
Kansas City has struggled through some absolutely brutal stretches of baseball this year. How about this, for example? Between June 3rd and July 9th, so you're talking a solid month, they lost 28 out of 32 games.
Ouch.
There's a line drive into center field. Greg Allen cuts it off, and jamming on the brakes is Ryan O'Hearn as he trampled around second base. 3 hits in the inning. And up comes Adalberto Mondesi.
Well, that you remember, I'm trying to remember what year it was where we had a 5 and 20-something August. Month of August.
It was the final season of Manny Acta's reign.
What was that, 12? 2012?
Yeah.
That was so that's the same, similar, situation.
Yep.
Won 4 out of their 32 and won 5 out of the 30 or something like that. It was, that was tough to go through for everybody.
Outside corner, strike. And it's 1-1. Mondesi, 2 hits, 2 runs scored tonight. Now Tomlin's 2-1 is up and away. Pops it up. Right field, Melky Cabrera is in. And now Greg Allen calls him off. Inning over. Another run for the Royals. We go to the ninth. 7-1 Kansas City. And may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. It's been a faceplant kind of night for the Cleveland Indians. 7-1, Royals lead it. 9th inning. And the new pitcher will be Jason Hamill, 4th hurler of the night for KC. Former starter will face the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for Cleveland. Seven runs on 14 hits for Kansas City, 1 run, 4 hits for the Indians.
A guy that's been a starter for him, coming out of the bullpen now. Will throw the high fastball over the curveball.
Jose checked. Pitch was called a ball, 2-1. Yandy Diaz yet to see any action in this series. With a day game tomorrow, we'll see if maybe he gets into the lineup. The 3-1. Pop to left. Almost seemed unimaginable coming into this series that the Indians are on the verge of potentially being swept if they don't turn things around tomorrow. When you think about how fast things change in baseball, they went from up 2-0 in that Red Sox series,
right,
and playing a stretch of baseball in which they had won 9 out of 10 and 16 out of 20. Can't play much better than that. And now they're 2 outs away from 4 straight losses.
Yeah, went from 2-0 to dropped 4 straight.
Yeah.
Well, Kansas City will win this series. We heard Jensen say this will only be their 6th series win of the year.
There's a ground ball, and it's in the hole. Even with the shift on, there's a hole over there because Mondesi and Herrera were both going for it, and they both realized at the same time, if one of us dives, we might kill each other.
Well, yes, just weren't close enough, and he went right in between them. So maybe next time they'll put 4 guys over on that infield. The pitcher's going to have to cover first. Look at him. He can't believe it. That shift. Doggone it.
I mean, that's a case where, too, you've got guys like Herrera and Mondesi, just like when you have Lindor and Ramirez, they cover so much ground. You almost don't need. The shift almost hampers a guy like Mondesi in that because he can't go all out for that ball.
That's true. And he's going to, because they're bringing the other guy over, he's got to move over more for the hole between short and third. Yeah, and everybody talks about, oh, the shifts work. Sometimes it doesn't work, but it's never talked about as much as it is when it does work.
Swing and a miss. Fouled right back. People may have wondered when we've seen shots of Mondesi, the nickname on the back of his shirt is La Guinea. I think that's the proper Spanish pronunciation. He said it's kind of like a bird, or it's kind of like a chicken. It's a small bird. It's kind of like a chicken. It's fast. And he said people started calling me that when I was a little kid. Fouled back.
You have to be a fast chicken over there if you don't want to become breakfast or lunch. So you're able to skate and keep moving.
Well, it tells me that at a young age he was fast.
Yeah.
People recognize that right away. And nothing has changed as he has grown up. Up to second base goes Encarnacion. I like, too, that watching Mondesi, like Lindor, like the really good shortstops, he's always talking to the other infielders every pitch, what's going to happen, who's going where, who's got what responsibilities.
Right in the middle of all the action. Yeah. You're in on every pitch. You know, you talk about the catchers, they're in on every pitch with the signs and doing that. Well, your shortstop is too. He's relaying signs over to his third baseman, to his second baseman. Not necessarily signs, but maybe letting them know what's coming.
A ball and 2 strikes for Yonder Alonso, Mr. 305, who walked and scored the only run of the game for the Indians in the second inning. He had a base hit in the 4th. This one's popped up, foul, might be playable. Dozier to the railing. 2 down. Well, those who have turned out on a muggy night in Kansas City are up on their feet. Melky Cabrera is 2 for 3 with a double, 2 doubles tonight. And he swings at the first pitch. He got a fastball inside. He turned it loose, but fouled it back. Missed outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. He went too far, says home plate umpire Stu Sherwater. And the count is 1-2. Jason Hamels' 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed. This game is over. Kansas City has won the first 2 and a chance to sweep the Indians tomorrow afternoon in the series finale. No runs, a hit, 1 man left here in the 9th as Kansas City wins it by a final score of 7-1. The Royals are now 40-90 on the year. The Indians fall to 73-56, and they've lost 4 in a row. Heath Fillmyer, the winner, is 2-1. The loss to Corey Kluber, he is 16-7. 7-1 the final. Back with some final thoughts right after this.